going, everybody? It's Penny Garage. I got another video, which is pretty rare. Usually they're about a year apart. So today I'm going to take apart the engine to see why it's all seized. My guess is it's just rusted. Makes sense. That didn't have the carb on, got in the rain, got in the intake, got into the cylinder walls. Got condensation in it. Yeah. So, over the course of that last video, not much has changed. I put some, what's called, I can't remember what it's called. Hang on. Some fluid film. There we go. So I got some of this in there. Doesn't seem like it did much. So that's why I'm tearing it apart. And we tried, doing some other stuff with it. And basically it turned. So now it's not sitting flat, it's sitting at slightly off from center, which I'm not happy about because I wasn't the one who did it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just gonna do a quick cleanup of this engine. I'm gonna do some vacuuming and get all the, it's got mouse turd on it, so I'm just gonna clean that up. And then I'll get into it and see what happens, I guess. Okay, so I vacuumed as much as I could off of it. I'm sure I still got some more to clean off, but I got most of it, so it seems to be okay. Mainly just like mouse turd, so it was pretty bad. Yeah, other than that, like right now it's seems to be okay. I gotta get the valve covers off. And then, so what I'm planning is I have to keep the garage space open. So I have to tear it apart, look at it, and then put it all back together. So that's going to be the fun part because I'm going to have to remember where every single bolt goes and everything, which I'm not very good at, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. So yeah, that's step 1, step 2, I guess. Yes, on to the next step. So one thing I've noticed with these LA engines, they are all over the place. They like to use metric, SAE, whatever. So I got a 7/16 on the valve covers. There's 5 on an LA. There is 10 on a Magnum. This is an LA because it is pre-Magnum, because the Magnums came out in 92, 91. So yeah, so valve covers off, or coming off. Just getting them loosened, make sure they're all not breaking bolts, stuff like that. And yeah. Alright, so we got the valve covers off. It's black. Looks like it's sat for a while. And by that I mean for a while. This is definitely interesting. Both the gaskets stayed on, so this is a aftermarket gasket. But yeah, if you look into this guy, you can see it's pretty bad. But on the OEM valve covers, if you look, there's these little notches on them all throughout the valve cover. It's because the OEM from factory valve cover gaskets weren't very, weren't the best. It was, this one was an 85, so this was the 80s. But they weren't the best, and so they had these little tabs on them, and it still didn't really help sealing, but I don't know, it's Mopar, who knows what they're thinking. So I just loosened the intake, the intake bolts. I started from how you would do it, and like a bolt pattern, so you how you tighten it. I started on this one, and then just kind of worked my way around, stuff like that. I did notice there was a couple missing. That, or there's no bolt there. Yeah, it's definitely more different than mine. So they definitely upped their stuff when they, went up to 91, I guess. So, it's pretty interesting. Alright, intake is off. So, doesn't look too bad. I mean, looking at it, you know, obviously it's rusted, but doesn't look too bad. I did get some stuff in there just because of the intake gasket. It's all chewed up and old and stuff. Like, yeah, it's real old. So, the journey continues. I think my biggest challenge is I've never taken a head off of a 318, so that might be a learning curve. I don't know. Hard to say. Okay, so getting to the head, I just remembered something. I learned this from, what's that name? Uncle Tony's garage, I do believe. I'll put a link in the description. He's a big Mopar guy, so this is kind of where I learned it. He said that when you're breaking the bolts on the head, so when you're taking them off, you want to listen for a crack. Like, it almost sounds like the bolt is actually breaking. That's a good thing, because it means that the head was still, you know, still solid, still, you know, flat, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna try and demonstrate that. Bear with me. I'm only on a phone, so there's like no production value here. I just got to see where I can put you guys. So we're gonna try this. Yeah, like I said, bear with me. So I got two bolts. I got two bolts broke. I broke the two in the middle. There's 10. So I broke the two in the middle, so they're all cracked. And if you listen real close, I'm gonna try and get you guys closer. We'll put you in the valve train, but new phone, so. This is hard by yourself. Good lord. There. So if you guys listen, you might be able to hear a bicycle. Just kidding. You should be able to hear a nice pop. Just like that. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but yeah, if you guys hear that pop, basically it means that it's good. Like, the head's good. So, yeah. Just a tip I learned from somebody else, and I can pass on to whoever the hell watches these. Alright, so the head's just about to come off. I just wanted to, you know, let you guys know. I did this the very unethical way. You usually want to use like a soft mallet hammer, but I couldn't find one. So, we used a 4-pound metal hammer. Yeah. Got it off though, so, yeah. I'll get that taken off right away. Alright, so that's what's that? That's bank 1, I do believe. So this would be cylinder 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we got it off. We got the head off. I thought this was gonna be a lot harder. Literally it's very simple actually. Take out the push rods, which are on the head, which I'll show you right now. So you get your push rod holes and just pull them out. There you go. You gotta take off the rockers, but yeah, seems to be seems like a pretty easy engine. Obviously this is where it gets very tricky, and oh boy, I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. Might be, but yeah. So I don't think it was seized in the way I was thinking, which is not very good. I don't think. I think it was just stuck because of the oil. It looks sludgy. So I will get the other side off, and we will take a look at the other side. Hooray! Alright, so, well, our head gasket came off. Head gasket is still on here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's right there. So that's the head gasket for bank 1. Bank 2, got a little issue. So there's what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. I do believe that's cylinder 8. That's not bad. 7, 6. You can see it's getting a little rusted in this inside. And 2. Jesus. Yeah, it's not the best looking. I can tell you that transmission fluid definitely would have helped. So there's that. I'm gonna vacuum. I'm gonna try and scrape this off and vacuum it. See what I can do there. Well, it looks like a spider was living in here. I didn't see one when I got here, so. Huh. Interesting stuff you find in an engine, I guess. Alright, well, I'll get the stuff vacuumed. I got a little bit of transmission fluid on the little pad, whatever, it's trans fluid. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Wonder if it'll spin after. I don't know. So, after careful analysis, it's still seized. So, yeah, I tried vacuuming out the cylinder on cylinder 2. There's another tip that I learned from that Uncle Tony's garage or whatever. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for his channel. He's pretty knowledgeable. He's been doing it for, I think he said half a decade. Or, no. Half a century? I don't know. Hard to say. But yeah, so another thing he told me, or taught everybody, I guess, is you can bang on the cylinder, or bang on the piston to try and get it to move. With like a metal pipe, piece of wood, you know, whatever. I got this little piece of wood, and then I got my big sledgehammer. So I don't know if it's moving. It's very, very small increments, because damn. Yeah, I might just keep trying that, see if I can get it. If I can't, I just slap it back together and wait. And I'll probably end up doing the bottom end, probably, just to see, because if the crank is good, means it's a good motor to build. But if the crank is fucked, or you know, it's broken for whatever reason, I have to buy a crank, and that is expensive on top of the build. So on top of the boring, the stroking, the decking, all that, I have to buy a crank if it's broken. If it's not broken, whatever. It's a good motor, and it does look like a good motor. I'm not really finding anything wrong with it. Cam looks good. You know, rockers, valves, they all look good. It's sludgy, like it's been sitting a while, so you can tell. Yeah. See how she goes. I'll keep banging out at the pistons and see what I can do, I guess. Well, after trying and failing, the engine still don't move, so I think it's pretty much done for now. It just needs to sit, and eventually when I have the room to tear it all apart, I will tear it all apart and see what the hell's going on. For now, we're just gonna slap it back together, you know, make sure it's all kind of covered. Yeah. So in that case, I'll do what I did all backwards, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully there's some updated progress, because holy moly, this is gonna be a long build. But if I can get it all torn down, I can send it out to a place, so be good. Other than that, yeah. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, you know, do what that algorithm stuff does. Yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully.